All right, when I last spoke to you, I was showing you magazines that Grottu Orloff created way back in the 1990s, and this is number 18 of the Sophisticate from August of 1995. And I was really proud of this cover. And the back cover, as I was just showing you in the last video, is a pinup, a Space Ghost pinup, done by Joe Riley, who you may know from the TV show Hypnotic Eye, which I helped with. I love this little thing I stole from the Electric Company magazine. Easy Reader says, this book is easy to read. Of course, that's Morgan Freeman. Another thing you can look up on YouTube is the Electric Company. Oh, this has got a double cover. Look at that. This is a collectible double cover issue. Anyway, that was some artwork by my friend Grant. I haven't heard from him in a good 30 years. All right, so now we're starting to see, that was, you know, I was really into this band, the 5, 6, 7, 8s, and that's long before Quentin Tarantino happened to discover them. So I'm being the same asshole I was just saying I hate in the last video. I was into it before you were. But yeah, I was into a lot of stuff before Quentin Tarantino was. There's more art from Grant. I just can't remember his last name. He married a friend of mine, and then there's more from Grant. He was a little bit warped. But see, I could also benefit now that this issue was done with Joe Riley's help, because the last issue, I don't think I'd met Joe Riley when I put that out. But see, like I can tell right here, that handwriting there, that's Joe Riley's handwriting. So he kind of helped me with little things here and there. So let's see if we can see what we can find here. April March is another artist that did the song Chick Habit, and then Quentin Tarantino later discovered her and used that song in Death Proof, I think, over the closing credits. Let's see, Quentin Tarantino is kind of the same kind of obnoxious collector nerd that I am, except I hope I'm not quite as obnoxious when I talk as he is, but he has a lot of the same influences as me. So sometimes music that I've discovered that I think I'm the only one that knows about that will later appear in his movies because he's discovered it completely on his own. But okay, this is Joe Riley completely. He did this article. That's his handwriting. He laid it out. He did the Japanese writing. He did put the word balloon there. This is Joe Riley, who was a genius. He passed away at a certain point. He kind of had a falling out, and just, I don't know what it was. He just kind of stopped answering phone calls, and so I lost touch with him for many years. And then in the days of MySpace, he sent a friend request, and I don't know if he knew who I was, but I said, hey, it's me, and just because I wasn't using my name, I was using Grottu Orloff. Orloff is actually a family name. I didn't take it from the Dr. Orloff horror movies. On my father's side, there was a Bertha Orloff, and she was, you know, Russian, I think, Russian, German origin. See, and I have this whole deal about the 5, 6, 7, 8s. Oh, I love them. I still love them, but some of their albums now come out in Japan and you can't get them here, and I really, it sucks. This was a whole, I put the Sophisticate on it, but it really came from an old magazine, and it has all the horror, not all, but many of the horror hosts, and I thought, I gotta reprint this, because like it has Tarantula Ghoul. She put out some good records, and Gorgon was here in Fort Worth in Channel 11. He was also kind of a crazy character called Icky Twerp, and he ran the Three Stooges comedies for people that grew up in the 60s and 70s. Zachary, I always found Zachary to be a little bit annoying, but I didn't grow up in New York at that time, but to me it was kind of like watching Joe Biden on acid or something. Because even when he was young, he acted like insanely, kind of weirdly old. Should not speak ill of the dead. And Miracorday, you know, that's Joe Riley's handwriting. I had him do that for me. I just always thought Miracorday was the greatest. She was in the giant claw and tarantula. And then a friend of mine put out this movie, Mike McCarthy. He was also a comic strip artist, and so I did this little promotional feature. And then Joe Riley worked on this, I think, doing the special effects. I kind of introduced the two, and then he flew out to Memphis to help him with the movie. Just an ad section. Always loved the ads in Warren, so I made sure that I did lots of ads myself, and because that's what makes a great magazine. Because as a little kid reading, you know, looking at the Monster Times and Castle of Frankenstein, it was always my dream to make my own magazine. And so here I am reprinting a story I wrote in 1974 as a fourth grader about an ape or something. More Carolyn Jones. This was done by a guy named John Freeman, who's a great musician and cartoonist, and I think he lives in Seattle now. And then, oh, that was my artwork. Joe Riley did the font, the writing here. Now you can just like use a computer and create cool fonts, but back then, and that's advertising a magazine that I was putting out. I put out a sister magazine called Sling Rave Corvette. I'll show that to you too. This is like the dating section. It was a fake dating section. And it was just kind of a little fanzine that I put out. That was August 95. Let's see. Yes. Okay, here's Sling Rave Corvette. That may have been the last issue. But Sling Rave Corvette was supposed to be like a girl's version of the Sophisticate. And of course I reused that art because I loved it so much. And this has Joe Riley stuff because that's his writing and his little starburst. And let's see what I did in this. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got, and who did that artwork? I guess that was done by Grant. Boy, that's great artwork. I wonder if I own that original piece or if he kept it. Anyway, this is also Joe Riley art, and it says, finally, after 30 years, I, Sling Rave Corvette, have been given my very own special magazine. As a special treat for your readers, here's the first page of the instruction booklet for the 1964 model kit based on yours truly. And look at the Zipatone. That's back when you used the Zipatone. See the little dots? It was a film, and you would cut it with an X-Acto blade, and it would lay down. See, I used Zipatone there too on this drawing. That's what they used to use in the comics to give it. See, look, Sling Rave Corvette and the Sophisticate, filthy publications. Please deliver us from evil. I just do all this cut and pasting, and I'll just try to show you what it looks like. That was Joe Riley art there, the hero fighting the monster, and let's see what else we've got. This is my idea of what a magazine for girls would be like. It's like, hey girls. That's my artwork there, the girl with the bone in her hair. Oh, and here are the teen idols. Ultraman's one of them. Joe Riley was a huge Ultraman. Oh, and then look at this guy down here, a prisoner, Teenage Frankenstein. A look back at Christian pop culture. I guess I was talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. Is that my article? No, that was done by my friend. He has a radio show now on Friday nights on a local independent radio channel, and they cover up some things that are inappropriate. Picks for your scrapbook. The Trogs. Anyway. But the radio show starts at midnight and goes till like 4 or 5 in the morning, so I can't ever listen to it without immediately falling asleep, and that's the cramps. This is just all the stuff I was into. They were the Ladybirds. They were a topless band in the 60s. What else? Oh, look at this ad. I just took ads from the teen magazines from the 50s and 60s and then made it a promotion for this magazine. What do we got over here? It's just cut and paste, and like here, Fabian and Ed Burns. I kind of was out of my mind. I guess I still am, but Betty and Veronica. Oh, here's an interview with Gene Simmons, where he's talking about being into Marvel comics and horror movies, and there's an ad for the, these are the dolls that are super valuable, or at least they used to be. I'm sure they still are. You can't find those anywhere. They came out in the 60s. Now, of course, we had to reprint the O.J. Simpson ad, and you have to have Raquel Welch in there. And then drawings sent in by readers. Oh, well, let me tell you about this drawing here. This drawing here was done by, you can watch this guy on YouTube. This guy that drew this invented a robot, and he's one of the leading guys into artificial intelligence now. He has this robot named Sophia, and it's like this girl. The top of her head is you can see her robot brain, and she has actually been made a citizen in Saudi Arabia or something. But anyway, look up Sophia, David Hansen. Yeah, this is from his warped mind, but very genius mind, but warped. Yeah, because when I did the Sophisticate video, I had an ad for Sophisticate video coming soon, and this guy, a few years younger than me, wrote me a letter saying, "Oh, I really want that video," and I made some videos for him, but I never really did the Sophisticate video, and he and his friend was David Hansen, so that's how I came to know those two. Through this, putting out this magazine, it caused me to expand my friends, people local and outside of the state, kind of got in touch with me, and this is before YouTube and social networking and all that, and this is how you expressed yourself before YouTube. Took a little bit more effort and time, but I just wanted to share all the wonderful stuff that I loved with the masses. You know, it's like I keep reprinting some of this stuff. And then little things about the monster model kits, like poetry about them. Everyone writes poetry about their model kits. Welcome to a new kind of magazine, the Sophisticate. Yeah, this was something I did. Did I do a second issue of it? I don't know. I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Um, what else is in here? A lot of horrible things. Well, I thought I did a second issue. I guess I didn't. Here, this is the. I just had the 70th anniversary of Snoopy yesterday. This is a Charlie Brown coloring book. Oh, and here's an issue of Dynamite that was not in my Dynamite box. This needs to be put in with the other stuff. When Empire Strikes Back came back, I didn't even know they were still putting out Dynamite at that point. But I did a video about Dynamite magazine about a month ago. I'm losing track of time. Yeah, by then they were no longer using the Marvel and DC comics. They had their own Dynamite duo bullshit. Yeah, so I need to put this with these others. My goodness, what horrible, awful things. What is this? Well, I already showed you that. Oh, I was looking for the lid to this box. And this says Mad Box number 3. It's very hard to move my legs in here, but soon it will all be better. Soon. Soon, very soon. Possibly. Ouch. Ay, ay, ay. Old issues of Sick magazine. Wow. Not too many of Sick. Here's one you don't see very often. It's really terrible. It's called Trash. And this looks like it has the artwork of Tony Tallarico, who's like the world's worst comic strip artist. But it does have, actually, it looks like a cool poster where Luke Skywalker is frying the hair of Carrie Fisher. So, I think Star Wars. I think that possibly it might be worth getting a second copy of this just so I could take that cover out. Yeah, it's got the Star Wars stuff in it. I remember buying this at a little convenience store about 2 blocks from where I'm sitting. Yeah, they do. Well, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. They try to do a Mad parody in it. I mean, this is better quality than Sick, which is that's not much. That's kind of not praise. The best kind of praise to say it's better than Sick. Yeah. You know, Mad, in the early 70s, about 70, 71, National Lampoon did a parody of Mad that was just really vicious. But this one, I don't know, they don't really copy the art well enough of, you know, here's, in this case, Don Martin, for it to really be effective. Sick, Trash. Trash. Yeah, apparently I have another issue of Trash. It was good enough that I came back for a second issue. And then I've got Crazy. Crazy was good for a little while. Like, yeah, Crazy was from Marvel. And, you know, this cover I can tell is from Kelly. Is it Kelly Frias or Freeze? Kelly Freeze? I think it's maybe a Spanish name, Frias. I don't know. One of those names. I always thought it was Kelly Freeze when I was a kid, but I don't know how to pronounce the names because how do you know as a kid? I think this is the one that has the Casper parody in it. But you know, when you got this humor stuff from Marvel, then you have the possibility of getting Marie Severin art. And Marie Severin is amazing. You gotta love Marie Severin. Is this the issue? Yeah, this one had an article about streaking in it. So this, because it had an article about streaking, this may be the only, there may not be a whole lot of Marvel publications that have nudity in them. But I remember when streaking was popular in about 1974, behind the counter at the Stop and Go, there were all these streaking magazines. It was just like the thing. They actually published streaking magazines. And this is not the issue I was thinking. There's a Casper parody that's, oh yeah, more of this Marie Severin art. Just, it's supposed to be a toy catalog. Look at that. Looks like Portland. I'm going to find that parody if... Okay. Maybe it was a little bit further on. Maybe it was in this issue. With the Kung Fu cover. Maybe it wasn't. And you can't even see what I'm looking at. What a fascinating YouTube video, watching someone flip through a magazine. It's got Mike Plug art. Or, yeah. Well, Mike Plug was someone else of the Telltale Heart, but how strange that they were doing a parody of the Telltale Heart. Oh, I see. They're imagining a movie with Robert Redford and Will Geer. Oh boy. Shit. Where was that Casper parody? Here's the Exorcist issue. And the back they've got Watergate graffiti. I don't think it was in this issue. Man, they even parody Man, Myth, and Magic. That's very odd. With wonderful Marie Severin art. God damn. I need to go back and read this stuff. Yeah. I forgot about this. It's like, oh, this is horrifying. It's like if real people needed to use The Exorcist, and it's like they call this fumetti, where they take photographs and put word balloons in. It was an Italian style of comics where you did it with, you didn't have to hire an artist, just a photographer. But there's this doll that becomes possessed. I remember this now. I haven't looked at this since the 70s, but I gotta move this frickin' box. Okay, well, son of a motherfucking son of a bitch. Okay, pardon me. Damn, this is great. At some point, Crazy stopped being great and started being really shitty, and it was not long after this. But right, this one is issue 6. Yeah, I don't think it was good much after like issue 10. But look at this fucking shit. It's just very perverse. I remember looking at that as a 4th grader and thinking, Holy crap. Okay, it's got to be in one of these. Is it in the special paranoia issue? Possibly. End of the world. Well, they've got Will Eisner in here. They've got a pulp parody. And that's Marie Severin. I mean, really, Marie Severin was, she just does, there, someone did put out a book, you know, I think it was maybe the Roy Thomas alter ego people put out a book about her, but she doesn't get the full respect she deserves, just like Paul Revere and the Raiders don't get the full respect they deserve because they all wore the goofy Revolutionary War, here it is, outfits. People don't appreciate how great they were. And of course, having said that, in that last Quentin Tarantino movie, a lot of the music was Paul Revere and the Raiders, because he kind of thinks like I do. Yeah, it's Casper the Dead Baby, and it's a special origin issue showing how Casper died. And it's done by Marie Severin, of course, or at least the art. It's written by Marv Wolfman. So, you know, this is the type of thing that warps your mind when you're in 4th grade and causes you to wind up doing magazines like The Sophisticate. You know, he's got abusive parents. And I know a lot of people think, well, he's got to be Richie Rich, but it's Richie Rich dead is Casper, and yeah, they do look alike. Anyway, the father's beating up the mother. This is put out by Marvel, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, she grabs a knife. He punches Casper. He goes right to the TV. And he stabs his wife and breaks a bottle on her head. And then he's telling the story to Wendy about how he died. And I guess he comes back dead, see, as a ghost. And gets revenge on his dad, who's with his new girlfriend or wife, and they crash, and he has all these knives go into him. Anyway, yes, that's, by the way, Crazy number 8. I bet a lot of you are already typing in mycomicshop.com trying to get a copy of Crazy number 8. So a lot of great artists in these early issues of Crazy. Here's another Kelly Frias cover. God damn, I love disaster movies. Didn't you? I'm assuming you're about my age if you're watching this channel, because I doubt you're one of those guys with the wrap necklaces that argues about whether Key, is it a cameo or a first appearance? You know, I need to know because CGC says one thing and the Comic Collector app says the other, and man, those are not the people that grew up like I did getting comics off Spinner Rex, because, oh man, I don't want to offend anybody. I need to just shut up. You need to shut up, Grottu, because you're insulting your audience. What if they are watching me? That would be a horrible thing. Anyway, that's that. Oh, I'm gonna show you something that I showed you. I showed you that Biggest Greatest Cracked that was one of the highlights of my childhood. And then this Mad, right about that same time, spring of, what does that say? Spring of '71. This issue of Mad was something my mother bought me, that one of the greatest things ever in my life, that issue of that Mad special. I'm just telling you that I love this shit. I buy what I love. I don't care if it's a Key issue. It's just, that's my advice for you. Buy what you love. Love what you buy. Or trade for, or whatever, however you get it. But don't Okay, I'll be coming back in a little bit with more videos because I got like a million ideas here. But I'm gonna for right now I'm gonna shut these lights off. There's light number 1, light number 2. Let's see. Hey Pete, how you doing? Pete, this is Pete. Pete on a cold winter morning showed up as a little kitten and walked right into the house. And at the time I had a dog and a cat that have since passed away, so yeah, Pete and my other cat Alan hang out upstairs for the most part after we got our dog Drew, and we have something blocking the bottom step of the stairs so the dog doesn't get up here. And so they've got the upstairs as their domain, and the dog has the downstairs, and that's kind of the way it is because they don't get along too well. Well, it's mainly the dog that's nuts. Okay, so with that, see you soon.